Let me tell you a little secret. Even cleaning needs some kind of order. It's not about just start anywhere and clean what you see. I mean, sure, that sounds good, but most of the time it only makes more of a mess. Trust me, I've been there. I used to think, okay, I'll just clean what's right in front of me. But then I'd end up going back and cleaning the same spot again because something else I cleaned after messed it up all over again. But don't worry, it's not some strict system. You don't need a rule book or anything complicated. It's just about knowing where to start, so the next step doesn't undo what you already did. Like this. You mop the floor, then dust the shelves. Now the dust falls right back onto the floor. Sound familiar? That's just a tiny example. In this video, I'm walking you through 8 super simple steps, easy to follow, and they actually work. You don't have to plan ahead, you just follow along, and by the end, your house is going to feel fresh, clean, and honestly, kinda amazing. All right, let's jump into the first step. Let's start with that moment when you're just done. Not with a plan, not with a perfect mood, just done. Like this morning, I walked into the kitchen, and I couldn't even see the counter. There were 3 half-empty water bottles, a cereal bowl from yesterday, and 2 backpacks dumped right in the middle of the floor. And suddenly, I wasn't just annoyed, I felt trapped. Like the house was closing in on me. That's when I knew I needed to reset something. Not tomorrow, not on the weekend, now. And actually, if you want to try this with me in real time, I've got a new video coming out tomorrow, a full-day declutter challenge you can follow along with. So if you need a little push or a voice in your ear while you sort through the chaos, make sure to come back for that. You don't need a perfect time to declutter. You just need a breaking point. And honestly, that moment when you think I can't take this anymore, that's your green light. That's your cue to pick a corner, grab a bag, and start. Because let's be real, the free day we all wait for. It rarely comes. But that fed-up feeling, it shows up every week. And if you learn to use it instead of ignoring it, you can get more done in 2 hours than in an entire day of planning. Your head says wait for the weekend. Your gut says I'm done. Go with your gut. Don't wait for a perfect cleaning day. The next time you feel like yelling at a drawer or slamming a cabinet shut, that's your moment. Use it. Set a 10-minute timer and just start with whatever is directly in front of you. One Thursday afternoon, I walked past the hallway basket and tripped over the same pair of shoes for the 4th time. I dropped everything, grabbed a bag, and cleared out that corner in 12 minutes. That one spot made the entire hallway feel breathable again, and it changed the energy of my evening. You don't need motivation. You need a release. That I can't take this anymore feeling is not a failure. It's your green light. You can ride that frustration for 10, 20, even 60 minutes and feel lighter, not more drained. But to keep that momentum going, you need a simple system. Because once you start pulling things out, the mess often gets worse before it gets better. Let's talk about what helps keep you moving instead of stalling. One reason decluttering gets overwhelming. You stop to debate every single item. Should I keep this? Maybe I'll need it. What if? That decision fatigue is real and it slows everything down. Here's how to fix it. Set out 3 big bags before you start. Label them clearly. Bag 1. Give away anything still useful but not for you anymore. Maybe it served you once. Maybe it never did. Let it move on. Bag 2. Throw out damaged, expired, broken, beyond repair. If it makes you cringe to use it, it doesn't deserve space. Bag 3. Put back the oops items. A baby sock in the kitchen drawer. Scissors in the bathroom. Things that belong just not here. One time I found a pair of earbuds in the cutlery tray. No clue how they got there. But because I already had a put-back bag, I didn't overthink it. I dropped them in and kept going. This method sounds simple, and it is. But it removes 80% of the mental clutter. Instead of asking, what should I do with this 100 times, you make one fast choice and move on. And once you have your system in place, you're ready to tackle the messiest space with way more clarity. So where should you start? Wherever the stress is loudest. It's tempting to begin in the easiest room, something small, something safe. But here's the truth, that space isn't what's draining you. Start where the stress actually lives. The corner you avoid. The drawer you dread. The spot that makes your shoulders tense every time you walk past. For me, it was the kitchen counter. Not the visible part, the corner by the wall. A graveyard of male kids' crafts, empty jars I swore I'd reuse. I avoided it for weeks, and every time I saw it, I felt like a failure. One day, I finally cleared it. Took 25 minutes. I didn't make it pretty, I just made it empty. And something shifted. I breathed easier the next morning. I cooked without sighing. That one corner changed how I moved through the entire day. That's the power of starting where it hurts most. It's not just about the stuff, it's about energy. When you unclutter the place that's been quietly screaming at you, everything else feels lighter too. And once you've cleared that emotional hotspot, you'll be ready to face something even harder. The items that carry memory guilt or what if, like baby things you've outgrown. One of the biggest clutter traps, stuff you're not using but feel weirdly guilty letting go. The travel containers, the backup mugs, the fancy candle you've been saving. Or that gadget you bought used once and shelved ever since. You tell yourself, maybe I'll use it someday. But day after day, it just sits there, taking up space, taking up energy. There was a time I kept a small stack of organizer bins, nice ones, clean, barely used. I didn't love them, I didn't reach for them. But I told myself, they're still good. Maybe they'll fit somewhere else. They sat in a closet for over a year. One day, I finally put them in the donation bag. And here's what surprised me, I didn't miss them. Not once. I only wished I had done it sooner. Here's the shift, stop asking, could I use this, and start asking, would I feel lighter if this was gone? Because letting go isn't about waste, it's about clarity. You are allowed to release things that no longer serve you, even if they're perfectly fine. Now that we've cleared the what-ifs, let's move to the smallest clutter zones, the ones you probably haven't touched in months, but carry way more mental weight than you think. There's always that one drawer, one cabinet, one shelf, the place you don't open unless you absolutely have to. Medicine bottles, expired vitamins, cords, you don't recognize manuals for things you no longer own. It feels small, so you keep skipping it. But deep down, you know it's bothering you. I had a shelf like that. It was part medicine, part random stuff I didn't know where else to put. Every time I opened it, I'd close it again. Too much, too chaotic, I'll deal with it later. One evening, I set a 15-minute timer and told myself I didn't have to finish, just start. I threw out 3 expired items, recycled a packet I thought I needed but never opened, and wiped the shelf down. That was it. And it was enough to flip the energy of that entire corner. Here's the truth. The small spaces we avoid often hold the most hidden stress. When you finally clear them, it gives you a sense of control that's wildly disproportionate to their size. And when you close that drawer or cabinet afterward, you don't feel dread anymore. You feel done. Buying more storage doesn't solve clutter. It often just hides it better. One time I bought 3 matching baskets to organize my bathroom cabinet. I carefully grouped every lotion, backup shampoo, and half-used sample into categories. It looked amazing. For 2 days. Then I realized I was organizing stuff I didn't even use. There were 3 moisturizers I didn't like, hair tools I never reached for, and a clay mask that had been open for over a year. I wasn't simplifying, I was postponing decisions. That's when I made a rule: if I wouldn't buy it again today, it doesn't need a place in my cabinet. Before you think about organizing, ask yourself, do I even want this? Because once you get honest, you might find you don't need a system. You just need less stuff. Halfway through a decluttering session, things almost always look worse before they look better. And that's usually the exact moment you feel like giving up. Last week I was clearing out this shelf by the front door, the kind of spot where random stuff just lands. I started strong, but 10 minutes in there were receipts everywhere. Loose batteries, 3 rolls of tape, a dead flashlight, a random spoon. I have no idea how it got there. I stood there staring at the mess, and I honestly thought I should have just left it. So I stopped. I picked up one thing. A wrinkled envelope with a smudge on it, tossed it in the trash, walked to the sink, filled up a glass of water, and stood quietly for a second. That tiny break. It did more than caffeine. I wasn't magically motivated, but I wasn't overwhelmed anymore. I came back and finished the whole shelf in under 20 minutes, no drama. So if you hit that messy middle, don't push harder. Pause. Toss one useless thing. Sip water. Breathe. Then keep going slowly like someone who's got nothing to prove. One reason we feel like we're always decluttering is because we never give ourselves permission to finish. There's always another drawer, another closet, another bag. But here's what works: give yourself one goal, small and visible. I once told myself, just fill one reusable grocery bag with things I no longer need. That was my mission for the day. I didn't touch the closet or the pantry, just that one bag. I tossed 3 mugs, a notebook I'd never used, a scarf I didn't like, and 2 random chargers. It took 20 minutes and I actually smiled when tying up the bag. That smile. That's what we're after. Because when you give yourself a small win, your brain stops dreading the task. It starts craving that feeling again. Decluttering can feel oddly personal, like your mess says something about your worth. You look around and think, why is this still like this? Why can't I get it together? But here's the truth. Almost everyone has that one corner, that one bag, that one room they keep closing the door on. One time I sent a photo of my laundry room to a friend, piles everywhere, baskets overflowing, and a pack of batteries sitting on top of the dryer for no reason. I almost didn't send it. But when I did, she replied with a picture of her kitchen table. Same vibe, same energy. We both laughed and instantly felt less ashamed. Sometimes just saying it out loud. My house is a bit much right now helps. Not because someone will fix it for you, but because it reminds you you're not failing. You're just human. So if today feels heavy, send a message, leave a comment, or just whisper to yourself, this is hard, and I'm allowed to take it one small corner at a time. Let's make less pressure and more permission part of the process too. Before I used to think organizing meant just putting everything in place no matter what. But I would spend so much time trying to organize items I didn't even use, like old clothes, gadgets, or just-in-case kitchen tools. This made my space feel cramped, and I never truly felt like I was done cleaning because there was always more to do. Change. Now I've realized that organizing things I don't need only hides the clutter, so I started letting go of items that no longer serve me. Now my closet is full of clothes I wear, and my kitchen has only the tools I regularly use. It feels much more spacious and manageable. Removing unnecessary items not only clears up physical space, but also helps me feel mentally clearer and more at ease in my home. There was a time when I thought buying more storage bins and organizing things would solve the clutter problem. But I was just hiding things I never used: books I didn't read, decorations I didn't like, and random trinkets. It wasn't actually making my space better. It was just piling up the stuff I wasn't ready to let go of. Change. Now I only keep what I actually use or truly love. Organizing is no longer about cramming everything into bins, but about curating and keeping only the things that add value to my life. My space feels lighter, and I don't feel like I'm just moving clutter around. Focusing on what truly matters makes my home more functional and enjoyable to live in without the pressure of organizing unnecessary things. I used to try to clean everything in one go, even when the task felt overwhelming. When I'd see the mess growing larger, I'd get frustrated and want to quit, thinking I couldn't finish it all in one sitting. I'd often stop halfway, discouraged by the clutter. I've learned that it's okay to take a break when things feel overwhelming. A short pause, like stepping away, grabbing a drink, or just taking a breath, helps reset my mind. After that, I can tackle the task with a clearer head and renewed energy. Giving myself permission to pause allows me to manage stress better and makes cleaning feel less like a marathon and more like a series of manageable steps. You don't have to declutter your whole house today. You don't even have to finish what you started. But if something in this video gave you a tiny bit of momentum, even just enough to clear out a drawer or toss one thing, let that be enough for now. Because every time you make space, you're building something. Not just a cleaner room, but a calmer mind. A little more clarity, a little less noise. And if you want more of that, come back tomorrow. I'm posting a real-time declutter challenge you can follow along with. Just press play and let me be in the background while you move through your space. Until then, be proud of any progress you've made, even the tiniest kind. That's what builds a home you actually want to be in.